Welcome to Found Footage.
Hi. Welcome to Found Footage. We're so glad you found us. We're here to discuss our horror movie opinions and hot takes. Whoa. I didn't like that.
You didn't like that?
No.
No, you're not supposed to. It's supposed to be like the Blair Witch.
You can have a gummy worm.
That's the provisions she brings. The gummy
This is
bears.
the 90s. Is my DVD septum? DVD septum cam? Coming at you? No snot like in the movie, but
This is the creek that Mike threw the map into.
we found ourselves in the middle of the woods because we're talking about the Blair Witch Project and the sequel, Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2. Blair Witch Project was a found footage horror movie released in 1999 about 3 student filmmakers who venture into the woods to make a documentary about the local legend of the Blair Witch. Just to give some context, I did pull the Letterboxd rating. It has a 3.3, real middle of the road, considering a lot of that's probably reviews coming from like current times.
Yes.
With current special effects. Okay, Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2 was the sequel released in 2000. It uses a traditional narrative format instead of found footage and is supposed to be a meta reenactment covering the hysteria that followed the release of the movie. However, it's really just a movie of people who visit the Blair Witch site as another group.
Quite like us.
Yeah. And on Letterboxd it has a 1.9, which also feels fair.
It feels fair.
Yeah. So, let's go.
Do you have a favorite character?
Obviously Heather. We love a girl boss.
We do love our girl boss.
Do you have a least favorite character?
Josh. He freaked out too much.
Interesting.
Just look at how committed we are to this because it's pouring rain.
Yeah.
We're out here in the Pacific Northwest, the hotbed of weirdos.
No, we're in Maryland.
Right now we're in Maryland, that's right. We're out here in Maryland.
It's perfectly dry.
Perfectly dry.
Fall day. It's not April in the Pacific Northwest.
No, it's not.
No matter what you see.
Yeah.
Okay. Kicking off. Blair Witch 1. Blair Witch, the Blair Witch Project.
We're talking about the Blair Witch Project, like the original 1999. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I remember watching that on my mom's computer. My cousin had the DVD, and me and my other cousins, we watched it by ourselves at night in the dark, and I remember being so fucking scared.
Ooh, okay.
But to be honest, I don't think it held up for me.
No, I like that context because, confession, I had never seen this movie. Everyone's like, I'm not listening to this podcast now.
No, I think this is a fresh take.
I had never seen this movie before, so I did not find it scary. Like, I loved how the footage was very clearly old and obviously not as good of quality as current found footage films, but I did think the fact that you really couldn't see when they were filming at night, maybe it I could see an argument for it making it scarier, but for me, you just didn't see anything, so it didn't really.
Oh, interesting, because I loved that.
Oh,
complete darkness. I'm afraid of the dark though. That's the one thing I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
Is the dark and rodents.
There.
Anything else goes.
Interesting. Okay.
But the dark, the complete dark, I can't. I enjoy it because I like being scared, but I am afraid of the dark.
Yeah.
So I thought that was scary, but
okay. I respect
I can
that.
see if you're not really, then that being meh.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say though, I love the black and white footage.
Oh, I would agree
I
with
thought that was really cool.
That was fun.
Yeah. That was a really nice touch. I can see why that movie was so groundbreaking back then.
Oh, 100%.
One of the things that I have on my notes is the fact that I said all film kids are the same, LOL. Because they are. Film kids in the 90s, film kids in the 2000s. All the film kids I know, some of my friends who went to film school, they're all the same. They're all the same. It just doesn't change. And I actually love that.
I would agree. I would agree. Jumping into the movie, I love the way it started, where it's like the setup was like them packing, getting ready to go camping, interviewing like random townspeople on their way to the woods, because it gave us a lovely look at the 90s aesthetic, which I really enjoyed.
We love.
Shout out to
Obvi.
Heather's headband, the little like plastic like.
Oh yeah.
But I thought that was like a fun way to like tell us what was happening and like get into it and like set up the vibes, because the rest of it they're just like in the woods, you know.
Yeah.
The aesthetic is lost.
The aesthetic's lost, but also it was nice to get to know the characters outside of freaking out. Jeff? Where did we leave off?
Okay, so there's 3 main characters. Heather, who is the director, producer, and it's like her idea to do this.
Yes.
Josh, who is the head of photography and like filming.
Yeah.
And then Mike, who is their sound guy.
Yes.
So they all head into the woods. You said you thought Josh was the worst member of the trio.
Yes.
Interesting. I really thought like Mike was the obvious choice, but
Well,
I see your opinion.
can I say what Mike did wrong?
Yeah.
Okay, so halfway through the movie, when they're lost, they find out the Mike threw the map into the creek.
Yep.
Okay?
Into the creek, yes. It was useless. I kicked that fucker into the creek.
Which I would have just started swinging at him too.
Yeah.
That's fair. But aside from that, he kind of kept his cool. Like, I understood every time he was mad, it was like, okay, I would be mad too in that situation. But Josh was just... That man had no emotional regulation.
Interesting. I feel like I felt that way about Mike. Because like Mike and Heather were yelling at each other about the map. But he was
Justin-
like the one panicking the most when they got
Justin.
lost.
Well, yeah, I think that initial panic is fair.
Yeah.
Especially if you're already feeling weird. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Josh just blew up a little too often. And it wasn't even about anything. Which
Okay,
I understand. He was just scared.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how I would act in that situation. But I'm just saying he was the most annoying to me.
In general, how do you feel about camping?
I do love camping.
Even like this style tent in the woods.
Yeah, I used to like that a lot. I used to do it a lot. But as I've aged, I've become too chicken shit to try and camp and like rough it. I don't think I want to rough it anymore. It has to be, if I go camping in a tent, it's going to be like with a nice air mattress and
Yep.
stuff like that. It's going to be easy.
Okay. Would you do the like pack and like keep going multiple day journey?
Hell no.
Okay. Same.
I barely even like hiking as it is. I like to camp as in I drive up to the camping spot.
Yeah.
So no, I would not do that.
Okay, I agree. Well, no, I don't, because I'm not being in a cabin. I need a cabin and running water. That's the closest I'm getting to a
Camp. So you glamp.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I'm down for a hike. It's just like, how long would you have lasted on this trip?
Okay. Are you talking because of the witch or because of like the elements?
Because I would say okay, this might be like a multi-step question. Let's say, what's the longest you would go backpacking from spot to spot?
0.
0. Okay, you did say that, yeah. Well, you know,
I would never do that. If there isn't a
So you
trail,
you would never sign up to do this. You are a filmmaker.
well, I am. That's fair. If it was for something like that, I might, but not just for fun.
Maybe you hated Josh because you wanted to be Josh. You're like, I should have been
I should have been
on that trip making the film. We figured it out.
Okay, Heather was kind of hot, so I probably would have enjoyed being on that trip.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, I do have a confession that I have to tell the people watching this video, which is that I am Mike.
She is Mike. We've
because
decided this.
We once went on a trip into the woods in California on Halloween to do a Ouija board in the middle of the woods in the dark.
To have a seance.
To have a seance. And it was really dark and we did hear noises all around us and I got really scared. And so when we pulled out the Ouija board, I held the planchette down as hard as I could because I knew that if the planchette started moving, they would like make us stay there longer and I wanted to go home so bad. So I sabotaged everything because I was like,
Scared.
get me out of here. this thing has to not work, and then they'll let me leave. And it worked. And I never told them until like, let's see, this was
years ago?
2020. I told you guys like last year.
Yeah. Yeah. She is the saboteur, if you will.
Yeah.
I have footage. I'm going to put some footage here. I have to say, though, that was partly your idea to go into the woods and have a seance. You bought the Ouija board.
Yeah. No, it was my idea. And I think it like goes to this movie, which is like, I thought it was fun. Yeah, I thought it was all fun and games until I heard noises in the woods in the dark. And then it was over for me, which is what happened to them. And that's when they like started to lose it. And so I respect what happened. But what would you have done if you found out someone in your group threw the map into the woods?
My initial thought is start swinging, but that isn't going to
help. Not going to help.
I try and trace her steps back and see maybe we can find the map.
It's going to be wet.
But better a wet map.
I mean, looking at my papers just from being in the
true.
rain here.
My phone is dripping.
You know? So then stuff starts to go missing while they're sleeping. They come across a tree with like a bunch of little creepy twig figurines in it. And then Josh goes missing in the middle of the night. Now, you're in this scenario. You have no map. You found some creepy twig figures in the woods. Now remember, if your group's missing, what's your next move?
I'll probably want to talk to the witch, if I'm being totally honest. No, hear me out, because
How are you doing this?
Maybe if I can communicate with her, we can like barter something. She could keep Mike and let me go.
Oh, whoa! We turned on Mike,
and then I can bring more people to her.
Wow.
No, I'm kidding. That's actually that is. How am I a villain? I am the witch.
You really became the villain of this story.
Maybe that's the Blair Witch 3.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pitch it to Netflix.
I respect it.
No, well,
would you have gone to the tree with the twig figures to
absolutely. Yeah. I've seen those twig figures when I've been hiking before.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously I'm sure someone just put it. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. It's none of my business.
Yeah.
But I was super intrigued. So yes, I would have been super scared, but super intrigued.
I think I would have
shit yourself.
I would have kept walking until I hit, I'm not stopping to camp. I'm not stopping to sleep. I'm walking until I can't walk anymore. I'm getting out of there by any means.
That's fair, but what's the point in exerting yourself to the point of exhaustion though, and then you're stuck?
Because I would feel like I was accomplishing something.
That's okay.
And I would hope that I would get out faster and maybe whatever is coming for us wouldn't catch me. You know? So I didn't say it was logical, but I said it was my choice. Okay, so then next thing that happens, they wake up, Josh is missing. They kind of try to find him. And then I believe the next day they wake up, they find a bundle of twigs outside of their campsite. And it is clearly wrapped in strips of the shirt that Josh was wearing. They picked it up and moved it. You couldn't have paid me to touch that. I wouldn't have laid one finger on that bundle of twigs.
I don't think I would have done that either, because it was put there for a reason, and it's none of my business. I'm going to step over it and be on my merry way. Yeah, I definitely would not have opened it.
No.
She opens it and she sees teeth and hair.
And possibly a tongue.
Yeah, that's what the fan base speculate is a tongue. Yeah. I also assumed is a tongue. So.
Yeah, but 90s special effects, it was kind of just a red bloody blob.
A blob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would never have found it because I never would have opened it. I wouldn't have touched it. No.
She didn't tell Mike. Would you have told us?
She told me.
No, she didn't.
No, I swear she did.
She did? Okay. Sorry, my bad. I missed that.
Yeah.
I think I was zoning out a little bit because
that's when they both really started to panic.
This movie made me realize that my attention span is so fucking fried, because in the behind the scenes, I kept being like, can we fast forward? And I find myself watching and listening to things at 1.25 speed.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to reset my brain.
Yeah.
So.
See, this also is when I was finally it's getting scary. Because before that, it's just like they're hearing noises in the middle of the night, which was fine. But like my issue with it is like you couldn't see anything. So like it wasn't that scary. But then they think they hear Josh calling to them in the middle of the night. So they go running out of their tent. They wind up at this like spooky house. They go running through the house. And then it ends, spoiler alert, with Heather comes across Mike staring into a wall in the basement. And then it like basically cuts.
She drops the camera and it's just them standing there and it cuts.
Yep.
I thought that was like the scariest last minute of a movie. That was a nice last minute.
And why I thought it was scary was because like actually in the house you could see.
That is
Like you could see them like running up and down the stairs and like you could see like bits of the house. So it's like, oh my God, is there something there? Like, I think that's when it's scarier to me, when it's like, is there something behind that corner or like
right
through that doorway? But like when it's just like pitch black, like it was the other parts of the movie, it's like, well, I can't see anything.
That's so fascinating how two people can have such different views on like what's scary and what's not.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this. The house that they were in, that they found all of that stuff in, looked so much like the house that we used to break into in high school.
We didn't break in. For the record, we went in. No, it was open.
It was open. We didn't break in, but like it was abandoned.
It was an abandoned house.
It was an abandoned house. Sorry. Not me getting us in trouble. That was like 15 years ago. It's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, the house looked so much like it. And I remember just having so much fun doing that. And then I'm watching the movie and I'm like, these people are crazy.
Yeah. I would never do that again.
I would.
No.
And we might have to.
We might have to. We have to find the footage somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now I don't really think that the Blair Witch 2 is like worth fully covering, because while it started out really strong, and it
really did.
At the beginning, I was like, oh, I think I'm about to like this movie more, because like the concept was fun. And then it like immediately went off the rails. There's too many timelines, too like,
I love when there's like timeline jumps back and forth.
Yeah.
But it was one too many even for me. There was like 5 things happening at once and it's super confusing.
Because then toward the end, like multiple characters were timeline jumping. And so it was just like too hard to be like, what's happening? There's also a lot of like like you think it's something that's really happening and then it cuts back and it was like.
So it kind of takes you away from the moment.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. I have questions about that movie, but I don't think they need to be answered.
No.
I think we can just move on.
Yeah.
Now, there is a Blair Witch remake. It's not really a remake. I'm pretty sure it's Heather's brother.
Oh, it's versus. Oh, we will get to that.
We will get to that.
Yeah.
Okay, yay. Did you watch it?
No.
Okay.
But I have a connection to it.
Okay.
Any other thoughts on Blair Witch 2? I think we probably both feel the first one's better.
1000%.
Yeah.
The first one is better, but it is something that you kind of had to be there for it.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it holds up anymore.
I agree. I think first one, definitely like worth your time to watch.
Yes.
Second one,
classic.
I would skip it.
Yeah. The remake from 2016, or the second, I don't even know what to call it. The prequel? The sequel. The sequel. I remember liking it, but not as much as the first one.
Yeah.
So,
do you know the lore around like the making of Blair Witch?
I have read it back in the day, probably as like a kid.
Yeah.
But I don't remember. Refresh my memory.
Okay. First thing, when they were like auditioning the actors, they like needed, so obviously, okay, to set the scene, the entire movie was basically like them improvising. Like they had like a basic structure, but like it wasn't like they were practicing lines and then going in and doing, like, for the most part, they were like filming it themselves. They were like doing the sound themselves, and then like they were completely improvising the entire thing.
So like right now.
So like right now.
So this is it. This is a Blair Witch project.
This is found footage of the Blair Witch 20 and 26. But so to audition the actors to like make sure that they would actually be able to do that, they like the audition was basically like you came in and they were like, okay, imagine that you're a murderer and you have been in jail for several years and we're the parole board and you have to convince us that like you're ready to be on parole. And that was the audition. And and apparently they said that Heather scared them the most because she looked at them and said, I don't think you should let me out.
She knew exactly what she was doing. Oh my God. Even more points going to Heather because
huge
that's
Heather fan.
amazing.
Okay. And so then they had to record themselves. The crew would basically give them GPS coordinates of like what checkpoint they had to get to. And then that's like where they knew they had to like go set up camp that night. And then when they got to the camp, there'd be like a crate that had like food for them in it. And then it also would have like a secret little like note to each of the three in the trio. And that would basically kind of tell them like what their like concept for like the next like scenes were.
Yeah.
So that they kind of knew like what points they had to hit. But again, it's like they didn't have lines. They just had to like improv it, which I think is like very interesting because they didn't know what each other's things said.
That's like the ultimate improv crew
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
That is actually so cool. I think I
Okay.
could do a movie if it were like that.
They also slowly started to give them less like food rations as the days went on because they like wanted to like make them like irritable and edgy or like they wanted to make them feel on edge by like giving them less food. They like they were like interviewed. Oh, sources for this are like from I think we'll link them.
We'll link them down below.
But they like basically it was like they basically like gave the example of like, oh, the first day we would like give them like a sandwich and chips. And then maybe like a few days later, it was like they just got the sandwich. And then like later they just got the chips. And yeah.
That's a little sadistic.
I agree.
They're like method acting
Yep.
immediately.
Yeah. Also, they did not know what was going to happen at night. And I guess the cast said that like they weren't scared of it, but that they were like annoyed because it was like they would get all like cozy, like, you know, they said it was like kind of like wet conditions. We know that's
Wet
like,
conditions.
and that they would like be like all like ready to go to sleep and then they like hear stuff and it would just like annoy them because it's like, oh, we have to get out of bed and like film. So
Wow. I actually don't think I knew that. I was thinking of something else.
yeah. So originally when they were cast, they were told that what they were filming was going to make up like 10 minutes of the final movie. It was supposed to be like more like a like fake documentary, I guess. And so this was going to be like footage that like was used in the documentary. So it's only going to be like 10 minutes of the movie. And then like a year later, they found out that the footage they filmed was going to be the entire movie.
I would be super happy.
Well, wait, they were only paid $500 a week. The like last important bit is that for the promotion of the movie, they did spin it to make it seem like it was real. That like this was like found
I remember
footage.
that.
Oh yeah, because you would have been like 6.
No, like when I watched it when I was like 8.
Okay. Yeah.
But I remember that's the lore that I remember reading about.
Yep.
Back in the day.
They like
Like, oh my God, this is real?
yeah.
Yeah.
They made it seem like it was real, so the public perceived it as like it was real. They like made their IMDb listings make it seem like they were dead. And they promoted the movie with like a website that had like their missing posters on it. And then the cast was not allowed to do press for like a month until like a month after the movie had been released and like the hype started to die down.
We should do that.
No. I think that's bad karma. I don't know, man. Whatever you want.
No, I'm kidding. But that's actually pretty incredible genius. That is incredible marketing for
I do
90s.
think it's like so. Yeah, it's something you could never do now though, because it's like the internet's too accessible. Like whatever, someone would know.
Someone will get offended.
It did also lead to the people's like families being contacted by like extended family members who like weren't in on it and like did think that their family member had died.
Oh, that's so sad.
And then because they had used they used the actors like real names. Because again, they like wanted it to seem real, so they didn't give them fake character names.
I love that.
It led to the cast like being harassed after the public found out it was like all like acting.
Oh,
They got harassed because they were like
Why
the
can't-
faces of the movie. And
why can't people just be fucking normal and be like, wow, that's some genius marketing, and then just like move on with their lives?
that's just like not, I don't know, that's not the vibes. That's the
don't
same thing with like
understand.
reality TV now, where it's like we're all too invested in these people's lives. Let's just watch the show, enjoy it.
and stop writing
to-
think pieces about it.
Yeah, we don't have to DM people on TV.
And
Mind your
no, we
business.
don't.
Yeah. So then it did lead Heather.
That's unfortunate.
Heather changed her name in 2020 because she
Oh,
felt
wow.
like it was no longer like her name. She felt like she like sold her like name and
name.
likeness to the production company. So she changed it.
I love a baddie who changes her name.
Yeah.
So
But
more power to her.
Yeah.
Whatever she calls herself now.
yep. Not gonna say it.
No, don't say it.
Yeah.
In this space, we keep secrets.
Yeah.
We keep other people's
This is-
secrets.
This is safe space.
If you want to send us your secret, we'll say it, but we will keep it anonymous. That is something cool that we could start. Send us your secrets.
Tell us.
What else is on the list?
That was
That was it.
it.
I love that. Great choice. So, from our last episode, we didn't have a name, and now
No.
we have a name.
Yep.
And I'm going to put the name in the beginning of this episode.
We have
so
an intro.
people know. We have an intro.
We did an intro.
Oh yeah, we have an intro, you guys. With every episode, we're getting, we're finding our footing. We're getting in our groove.
Yeah. It's a mess because like we said, our producer is a golden retriever.
He's a 1-year golden retriever.
Jeff, can you sit? Good boy. Good boy. So,
And
like,
we both have things that hold us back.
yeah, we're just
So-
like doing our best to keep it going.
But I hope you enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun, even though
I
I'm
had a lot of fun.
drenched.
I am drenched.
And I'm so ready to not be wet anymore.
Yeah, I'm like at my limit here. Definitely wouldn't have lasted in the woods for like 8 days.
Do we?
Hope we'll find our way out. Maybe we won't. Didn't bring a map.
No. I do have a phone because it's not 1999, but
yeah.
do we know what we're doing next episode? Do we want to tease it or no?
No. It's a
No.
surprise.
It's a surprise. You got
To all
to tune
of
back
us.
in. To all of us. Thanks for spending time with us.